We are now going to see the demo of a use case where we are going to generate user-defined serial numbers for a serial controlled item in inventory using REST services. We are going to be using the Oracle Visual Builder Excel plugin for running the REST service. Once you install the VBCS plugin, you will see a new tab in Excel named Oracle Visual Builder. In the designer for VBCS, we need to provide the REST service API endpoint to be used for generating serial numbers. This is a combination of the environment link and the REST service endpoint. If you look at the environment, this is the environment link. We will use this. If you go to the REST API for generating serial numbers, this is the endpoint for generating the serial numbers. We need to give a combination of these two to start with. I have the combined link for the environment and the API in a notepad. Let's copy this and paste it into the designer. Once you click OK, the system will now ask you for the login credentials. We provide the user login credentials. The system will then ask for a layout. We will choose the table layout. This brings all the columns from the REST service in the form of a table. We can rearrange the columns in a sequence we want, and also if we do not want any specific column, we can delete them, resequence them according to our preference. Let's now take a look at the mandatory inputs for this REST service. So the payload requires the organization ID, inventory item ID, and the user-defined serial number to be passed. So I have the org ID and the inventory item ID handy for this specific item. So I'm just copying them, and let's say I enter the organization ID, the inventory item ID, and I enter a user-defined serial number, which is very specific as that I want and not something that is pre-generated. And let's say I want to create this for several quantities. I can just simply drag them in or copy paste them. And you can see the organization ID and the inventory item ID repeating, which is for the same org ID and the inventory item. And the serial number would be as defined by the user, or you can change them. The only thing we need to do now is upload the changes. And as you can see, just by the click of a button, all the user-defined serial numbers have been created in inventory for this item in the organization M1 Seattle for the item. You can now use these user-defined serial numbers in a work order for a serial tracked assembly.